There's been a lot of talk about the NBA awards as we shape up the end of the season. We have just 3 games remaining in the regular season. There's tons of people who are going to miss out on the opportunity to win, and there's tons of people that are going to win that wealthily deserve it. Today's video, we're going to be talking about all the NBA Kia awards, and we are going to be giving my personal opinion on who I think deserves what. We are not going to talk about the Rookie of the Year because I think it's a little obvious that Victor has this wrapped up. Again, I just want to remind everyone this is my opinion, and I more than encourage you. I beg you to leave yours in the comments below. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you hated. Please, please, please just let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Without further ado, let's jump straight into this with the MVP. I'm going with Nikola Jokic. In my opinion, Shai and Luka are both very, very deserving 2A and 2B. I don't really care where you have either of them. It's just about time that Nikola Jokic gets his 3rd MVP that he deserved last year. This oddly plays into the narrative as voters, they tend to believe that they made a mistake. They tend to believe that the postseason matters. The same thing happened with Giannis. Same thing has happened with many other NBA greats where they win a couple MVPs, but they haven't won in the postseason, and then they go and win in the postseason, and then they come back and have another MVP season, and the voters' fatigue wears off a little bit. Is what Luka Doncic doing absolutely incredible and out of this world? Yes. However, at the making of this video, the Mavericks are the 5 seed in the Western Conference. Before this season started, you guys can go all the way back to a couple months ago. Actually, I think it was the first week or so of the season, maybe the first week before. Regardless, I made a video saying your 2024 NBA MVP, and it was all about Luka Doncic and how I believed, in my opinion, that he was going to be the NBA's MVP if he was a top 4 seed. As the end of the season shakes down, guys, I'm not sure if he can clinch that up. The Clippers would have to lose a few, and the Mavericks would have to win a few, and then they are just 2 games behind the 4 seed. I'm not really entirely sure if he's going to do that. I think this is a great year to segue into the case for next season for Luka Doncic. Kind of like this year, how people realized they might have messed up voting Jokic in last year, so they're, I guess, making up, quote-unquote, for it this year. I do understand that's stupid, but let's be honest, guys. The NBA MVP is the stupidest award in the NBA just because of the fact that it is so beyond narrative-driven. I mean, who the hell do you know, Anthony Edwards or Jason Tatum, that's averaging, 20, 25, 28 points a game on the 1 seed, dominating their conference and not getting any love for the award? I mean, Jalen Brunson's not getting any love for the award. If we're talking about the actual most valuable players, those guys would be number 1 and number 2. Nikola Jokic, in my eyes, is the MVP. The award is just a little bit weird. Next, we got the Defensive Player of the Year, and for me, it's 1A, 1B. I think Rudy and Victor equally deserve it. I see a lot of people completely dismissing Rudy, even though he's the odds-on favorite by like minus 10,000, which if you know nothing about betting, if you bet $1, I'm pretty sure you would win 1 cent or 10 cents or something along those lines. So terrible, terrible odds if you bet against Rudy. Rudy transforms the Timberwolves defense in a way that doesn't particularly show up on the normal metrics. If you dig a little bit deeper into the advanced stats, it's very visible what he does. The same thing, though, can be said for Victor. When he's not on the court, they're a bottom 25 defense. When he is on the court, from the defensive rating standpoint, Victor allows them to be a top 10 defense, which is absolutely remarkable, considering the fact that the rest of the Spurs cast is not very great defenders. Devin Vassell is pretty handy. Keldon Johnson has showed potentials of using his body and size to defend. There's a reason Wemby leads the NBA in blocks, and he is one of the best just perimeter inside defenders, transition defenders, great in the pick and roll for his size. I mean, guys, how many times have you seen a 3-on-1 fast break where Wemby's presence alone stops it? It's absolutely remarkable. It's coin flip for me. I'm not really too picky on who wins this award. Next, we got the 6th Man of the Year. I'm going with Naz Reid. Naz Reid has been phenomenal off the bench and in the starting lineup. As Naz Reid averages 13 points and just under 6 rebounds a night, he has been the perfect addition for this Minnesota Timberwolves team. He's also shooting 42% on the season from downtown, which just adds another deadly threat into the arsenal. If Rudy gets played off the court, Naz can slot in very perfectly at the 4 behind Karl-Anthony Towns, and then they have 2 almost 7-footers. Naz isn't quite 7 foot like Karl and Rudy, but then they have almost 2 7-footers who can shoot 40% from downtown. I think Naz Reid has been just absolutely phenomenal for this team, and you guys got to remember he is still so young. He's going to have a very bright NBA career. The people in Minnesota love him. I would very much compare him to the likes of someone like Bobby Portis. I'm just going with Naz Reid on this award. I do want to give a big shout out though to Malik Monk. It's weird when you get to these awards, you don't tend to believe that winning matters that much. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the fact that the Wolves are so comfortably the 1 seed or in the top 3 hunts, whatever you want to say. And then the Kings are in the play-in. Like last year, if the Kings were the 3 seed, like they were this, or if they were the Kings were, sorry, it's been a long day. If the Kings were the 3 seed this season, like they were last season, I would think Malik's stock in this award race would be through the roof. I'm going to say it's 1A, 1B, though, and I'm giving the slight, like a 51-49 split to Naz Reid. If you had Malik Monk as your number 1, I wouldn't be mad at all, not even us in the slightest. Next, we got Most Improved Player. I made an entire video on this topic, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I have it Coby White. I think Tyrese Maxey does not deserve this award in the sense that Tyrese went from a star to even better star, while Coby went from a 6th man-ish, bench-ish role player into a certified bona fide star. Yes, he has struggled the last couple weeks of the season, but he's averaging over 10 points a game, over 2 assists a game, over 2 rebounds a game, shooting way better than what he was. I mean, he was averaging 9 points, now he's averaging 19. It's absolutely remarkable in my eyes what Coby's done. I made an entire video on this. You don't have to listen to me ramble about it anymore. Next, we have the Kia Clutch Player of the Year award, and for me, it's a 2-way tie between Steph and DeMar DeRozan, but if I was pulling hairs and making a final decision, I would have to give it to Steph Curry. He's been remarkable for this Warriors team. Really the only reason they're in the play-in sweepstakes at all, to be completely honest with you. Dubs are rolling. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've looked great. It's funny, most of the teams in the Western Conference have looked very solid coming out of the, All-Star break. And then finally, Coach of the Year, I got the Oklahoma City Thunder head coach, Mark D. I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life. What do you guys think, though? What do you make of this video? I know this one was a little quick, and I kind of came fast. No sus, no diddy. But I love you guys so much. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.